Hello, welcome Quackalope. Thank you for being here. Today we're going to be bringing you a first impressions and review of Tudor by Academy Games. This is, I still don't know how I'm supposed to introduce you.
Just how about, the way I tell my wife and kids whenever I put something out at the pizza parlor, I'm like, it's always under the name Super Handsome Awesome Guy.
This is going to be Super Handsome Awesome Guy, or in other words, West. Who's been coming up, hanging out, joining. You bet you're a fan of the channel?
Oh, big time.
Reached out, said he wanted to come have a game day, and now every other week or so, we're getting together, playing games, and we're going to start recording things here on the channel. We just played this for the first time today.
Yes.
Got to the table, and I'm going to be honest, I think we both were a little,
we were hesitant to get it to the table.
Yeah, we started looking at it, and my first impressions was, it's a little clunky.
Yeah.
Rulebook is obnoxiously wordy and thick.
Yes.
And it took a bit to get our heads wrapped around iconography, symbology, why some of the rings are slightly distorted and don't fit on any fingers but my pinky. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of things that, were initial turnoffs.
Yeah. And even though I'm a big fan of history, and I'm also a big fan of English history, the theme didn't really want to extra pull me in. This was very overwhelming at the beginning. Not just not because it's complex, overly complex looking, just because it's a little bit on the drab side.
But here's the thing: this video is titled something along the lines of "I underestimated this game."
Big time underestimated.
And so that's the conversation we're going to have. Stay tuned. Let's dig into it. This is going to be a quick conversation, an overview, a breakdown, and then probably an initial review and where our head is when it comes to reapproaching it. So, an overview of Tudor. Do you want to try to take a 60-second swing of what we're doing here?
I'll do my best.
All right.
So basically the concept of the game is that you're going to be taking your little people, setting them here at the table, and then you're going to bring your lord in, and he's going to activate special actions on the board, which will allow you to do things to crawl up the ladder of success, to potentially get yourself into this area up at the top echelon, where you will actually get some additional rings, and based on where you've placed them on this hand, you get to do extra things here at the tables below.
Yeah, this is worker placement with some interesting sequencing, powers and abilities that start to upgrade, but they're all going to be basic iterations of the same. Draw cards, move meeples, gain resources, and it's going to be a little bit of set collection and pattern matching as you move your way up here, collecting different icons and collecting different tokens across the course of the game. Mm-hmm. It's actually shockingly simple.
Very simple.
I could teach this in probably about 4 to 5 minutes.
Yes.
If that.
Which is confusing as to why this book is so thick and really wordy.
Yeah, I mean, it's a Euro, so they took their time to make sure they broke it down, and honestly, they answered all the questions we had in it.
This is true.
But it was more intimidating than sitting down and watching a little quick 7-minute video and then diving through it.
Yes.
So, I underestimated Tudor. I really did. I was intrigued by it. I picked it up at a convention a few months back because I like Academy Games. I've heard great things of their products, and I wanted to try some of their stuff. Mm-hmm. And this looked like the most classic Euro-style game that they had. I know it isn't when it actually comes to their lineup, but when you're talking about old, ancient themes, you're talking about this kind of royal European style. Mm-hmm. I was intrigued. And I then got it opened and set it down on the table.
And how long did it sit before you actually brought it out today?
A couple months, but that isn't actually too shocking. That's considering the amount of stuff that we float and flow through. Here's what surprised me about this. I really, really like the worker placement. I like the pressure down here. It has a similar system to something like Roll for the Galaxy or Race for the Galaxy, where you're activating a card, or even Terraforming Mars Ares Expedition, where everyone's taking an action to activate a card that gives everyone else an ability. Mm-hmm. If you place your... What's this person called?
That's the Lord.
If you place your Lord in a room, you then activate your Lord's ability to take both of the available actions there, but also every other smaller action gets activated. So at 3 players, which is the other side of this board, there's this give and take between what rooms are going to be activated, where are people going to double down. Do you even go to a room where none of your people are because you're confident some of your people are going to get activated by other lords and ladies? And I like that. I like that up in the air. I like that pressure point. I like that discussion between what's going to happen and when you're going to be able to take your actions and how you can use and maximize your resources.
I 1,000% agree. I think that was a fantastic part about it. This very simple set here at the bottom with that oh my gosh, is this the right option menu? Oh, that was really good. It was very well done.
It also has worker placement programming in a way. Every action you take starts compounding upon other actions. The very initial worker placement slot that I choose will likely still be there for me to take actions at by the end of the game. And that's cool, because from the beginning, the next time we sit down and play this, I will understand a whole lot more about what I'm trying to do, how I'm trying to upgrade and gain rings, and how I'm going to position myself on this chart to score as much as possible.
And the ring aspect of it was really unique because based on where you place these rings on this particular hand, you got additional benefits on these base actions here with both your lords and your little meeples. That was a huge change. And if you underestimated the value of those rings, it was really dangerous.
Yeah, it was actually neat to have rings, see and watch them manipulate as you gain cards that help you move up the track, gain different rings that allow you to unlock different abilities and powers. And they're all iterations on the same, but they can be really powerful when you're talking about a Euro-style game, giving you extra bonus cards, extra actions, extra movement, etc., so on and so forth. The thing that still concerns me about Tudor, the thing that I'm not 100% sure on, is it is the same iteration of the same game. The scoring conditions change, so how you're going after different locations and different regions, that will shift a little bit, but for the most part, in my experience, or my guess of my experience going forward, is that there's not a lot of different here. There's the same puzzle to solve time and time again, and I'm curious how flexible that puzzle is. How many different pathways I can take to victory.
Because there are only 3 or 4 different scoring condition changes total in the entire game. So that does make it potentially a bit samey, possibly.
Yeah, possibly. I don't know that I'd mind that, though. It has a really, really it's a really, really accessible Euro-style game with good worker placement, and I like the pattern building as well. All of this gets shuffled and reorganized as you play and as you restart the game, and you're choosing how you want to navigate up by taking side steps, moving forward, landing on different zones. You get benefits when you get to the top by getting new rings and unlocking new abilities.
One of the things that
little
was really,
efficiency puzzle.
One of the things that was really difficult and interesting was you can actually run from the very bottom here all the way up to the top, and every time you go from one space to another, you take all the tiles across here, but the other person actually has to have cards to be able to go up that point. So when you pull all these cards off, now we're drawing from the bag and changing every color that's underneath here, so the thing that you've been planning for the last round or two now is completely messed up, and it's beautiful.
Yeah. Any other highs that you have for it before I start, tearing apart the one thing that I'm going to change before I play again?
Yes, 1,000%. No, I mean, I really enjoyed the majority of this game once we got into it. All of us were saying, wow, this is way better than we thought. Yeah.
We all wanted to play again.
Definitely.
Yeah. Here's the thing. This is terrible.
Garbage. Absolute garbage.
I don't like the hands. I understand the concept of it. You're supposed to have them set here. You hide some of your resources behind it, and you stick your rings on the fingers. I get the concept. I think it's a cool idea. I think it's a cool idea that should have made the cutting floor for 2 reasons. First off, it's too big. It obscures. It knocks over easily. It's unwieldy, and we ended up just not using it. Yeah, not using it much.
Laid it down basically and just set the rings on it this way.
The other thing is, it is so disappointing to have little kids store rings in a Euro game that aren't comfortable to wear, because the best way to play this game would 100% be having a reference card for where your rings unlock powers.
Yes.
And then actually wearing them, just draping your hand over the game, just emphasizing what you have, going to your friend and picking one off of their finger because you've taken it from them. That feels good.
Amazing.
That is the game. That is the theme of it, right?
Yes.
And it would allow you to imbue yourself in this. It actually, for me, would apologize for any of the thematic tropes in it. I would feel like I'm supposed to play arrogant, play haughty, play a role.
100% agree.
And in a Euro game, that's different. That's new. That's unique. That's not something that I experience. And I like that. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to cut off these fingers. We're going to chop these boards down to just little reference hands, or print out other references. Something. For anything that we need hidden, we're going to have a little baggie or something of the sort that you can toss your resources in and no one else needs to see. We're going to go find different colored rings that actually fit.
Yes.
Maybe silicone ones, but something that is comfortable and fun to wear with big old gems so you can play dress up while you play.
I mean, at one point I actually had 5 rings, and I really felt like I was one step closer to being Tom Brady. Yes.
Thanos.
Or Thanos.
I was going Thanos. You went sports, so.
I mean, yeah.
So what do we think? Final impressions? Like, where's this rank? If you were going to sit down and give it a rating, do you know our rating breakdown?
I do, yeah. So out of 5,
the 1 through 5. 1's a terrible game. 2's a game you'd rather not play.
Yeah.
3's a game. It's a really good game.
Mm-hmm.
Happy to play it. 4's a game you're asking for.
Mm-hmm.
5's a game that does not have meaningful critiques that take away from the experience.
Clearly, this is not a 5 because this.
It does. It takes away from the experience.
That was rough. I would easily put this at like a 3.5, 3.5. Can we do 0.5s? Is that allowed?
Yeah.
I would say it's a 3.5 going to a 4 with the thematic element of changing these rings. I think that might push it over 4 if you get rid of this nonsense.
You were leaving today talking about needing to pick up a copy.
I was, because my game group at home would love this game.
Yeah.
Absolutely love this game.
I think I agree with you. This is a solid 3 for me, leaning forward.
Mm-hmm.
It's one, like, I want to play again. I want to play a few more times. Next time you come back, we're probably going to get to the table at 2 or 3 players and just swing into it quickly with whoever else is here. It's one that we know now, and it's one that we can teach really easily. We need these upgraded, though.
Definitely.
These probably take, as far as I can tell, these take about a point away from the fun.
Very much so.
So this is, I think when it comes to just the mechanics, the core systems, and the experience that's here, this is a 4. Mm-hmm. When it comes to the application of the game itself, I think it's a 3. With a few simple changes, I think we're going to be able to bump it up. And I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
I want this game to hit the table more. I want it to, I want you to bring it back to your friend group at, where are you from again?
I'm from Michigan, technically.
You're 4 hours away.
4 hours away.
That's ridiculous.
The fact that he didn't go, why does a guy want to drive 4 hours outside of his way to come play games with me?
No, because that's something I would do.
Well, all right.
So I can't, No, actually, I should judge those people.
So, like, you're a mister from another sister? Is that what you're saying?
No idea.
Oh, okay.
No idea.
That's fair.
Either way, I want you to be able to bring it back and have a fantastic time with a gaming group. So, yeah, I'm excited about it. I really like it. I'm excited to play more stuff from Academy Games.
Mm-hmm.
This one was genuinely a surprise.
If this is the caliber of game that they're putting out, that's interesting, that's fun, that while that was a little rough, the game itself is very good, very well thought out, well planned. A little bit of execution issue there. I'm very excited to see what else they've got involved.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely.
So, there you have it. That's our first impressions and overview of Tudor. We had a chance to dive in. We're definitely going to be getting it back to the table. Leave a comment down below. Thoughts, first impressions, good answers to some of our issues, and have you played this game? Did you have the same complaints that we do, and how'd you go about solving them? Whatever the case, whatever you do, remember to do the important thing. You say, get out and play some games.
Get out and play some games.
Thank you.